Hey, little ho, welcome back to another episode. I hope you're having a good day. And I don't know if there's people that notice, but like I didn't post for 2 weeks. So if you did, I just want to say I'm sorry. But I don't know. I wanted to go out to a different place than being in my house. So I went out for I don't know, a couple of days, and then I'm still struggling with finding my contacts. So that's the reason why I have avoided to record, because right now I don't have them still, so I don't know how to look on camera. I made like 3 videos, and I had to delete them because they were out of focus. So it's hard to do this shit. And also I noticed that my hair was getting kind of long, and it was too messy for me. And the thing is, I live in a in a place that doesn't have that many people of color, and I don't like going to white people that cut hair, right? So I didn't have any options, so I decided to start cutting my own hair, and I did it 2 days ago, and I didn't like the way it looks. It's close to what I wanted, but it's still not good enough. So I also been kind of self-conscious about being in front of the camera, but I don't know. I decided to stop being a little bitch about it. So I'm just gonna record, because I feel like the people that watch me, anyways, they don't care about the way I look. They care about what I have to say, or at least that's what I think. But anyways, I just want to say that if you notice that I haven't been posting as much, which I don't know. There's not that many people watching it, so it doesn't matter anyways. So let me start with a video, with a podcast. As you can see in the title, I'm gonna talk about fashion, and I don't know. I wanted to focus on my personal experience with it, because even though I'm not fashionable, I don't feel like I dress good. I mostly just wear plain clothes. I still feel like I look good. So I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to first talk about growing up, like how it was for me, because for me, I wasn't able to dress myself until I was 18. Because the thing is, I didn't have a job until, I don't know, I was like 17, 16. No, I was 17 or 18, something like that. Um, so I wasn't able to have money to buy my own clothes. So my mom was the one buying me my clothes, right? Like, we wouldn't go together to the store. She would go to the store, and then she would say something like, "Hey, this reminded me of you," or "I feel like this would look good on you." So she would buy it for me, and that's the clothes I would wear until I was 18. I remember that I was self-conscious at first, because I didn't feel like I was able to express myself fully, and if someone made fun of my clothes, I wouldn't really defend it, because I felt like it wasn't me anyway, so like there was no need for me to defend it. Fortunately, I wasn't in that position. Nobody ever made fun of my clothes. um but I don't know, I was just thinking, like, if it were to happen, then I would just take it. I feel like that's something that I probably would have done. But anyways, yeah, I was self-conscious at first, and I think it took me like 2 or 3 years to finally get over that. Because at first I hated that I wasn't able to express myself through my clothes. But then I realized that I don't need to. I can just express myself through being myself. I guess, like, my personality and shit like that. So I started not caring about clothes anymore. And I feel like I still look good. Throughout the video, I'm gonna put pictures of what I used to look like when I was like a kid and stuff like that. So yeah, like that clothes, that was stuff that I didn't have an opinion on. So when I came to college and I was 18, the college I went to, it forced me to work, right? I had to work 10 hours, and I was getting paid 5.50, I think, or $5 an hour, without taxes taken out. So it would be like $7 or $8 an hour. Um, and I didn't have to pay tuition, so all of that money I was able to spend in whatever I wanted, right? So I started finally looking at the clothes that I had, and like trying to see like what style would fit me best. And that's when I started buying clothes online. I think I used Paxson and shit, I forgot the other one. I don't know, but it was from like only two places, right? because I didn't have any options in the place I was staying at. It was a small city in Kentucky, so I didn't have any, stores nearby. But the problem was that I didn't know my sizes. So almost every time that I ordered clothes online, it wouldn't be the right size. It will, and most of the time it was, too small for me. And I kind of gave up and went back to like wearing the clothes I already had, the clothes that my mom picked for me. And I did that for like a year, I think. And then that's when I finally started like talking with other people. And then during that time, I started dating people that was, physically, like their body type was similar to mine. We were around like the same height, the same weight. So I would wear, their clothes and they would wear mine and stuff like that. So through there, I started developing like a different, sense of style because I will date people and then I will get their clothes and not give them back, and then we will break up, and I will keep the clothes that I liked that I had from them. So I kind of developed like my a wardrobe from them, and it was free, So and the thing is, they will take clothes that I had too, right? But it was clothes I didn't like anyway, so I wouldn't mind it if they kept it. And it worked for me because women like they have such a good taste with clothes. I really enjoy taking wearing like women's clothes, especially like hoodies, pants, stuff like that. Like I really really like it. I really like the way it looks, the designs that it had. So for me, it was a time where I felt like I was finally getting clothes that I actually wanted to wear. But then I started getting self-conscious about it because the college I went to, it was really small. I think it has less than 10,000 people. I don't know the amount exactly, but I would wear clothes that, from my exes, right? And then I will see them like walking around and they will see me. And I mean, even if they didn't say anything to me, I feel like they will, I don't know. They probably thought like something about it. So I stopped like doing that as much, right? I stopped wearing like that type of clothes, the clothes from my exes. Um, and I started exchanging it with my friends. Like I will give them, some of my clothes, and then they will give me some of theirs. So I started doing that, and that kind of made me wear clothes that I liked, but also I didn't feel like I should stop myself from wearing. And just as a parenthesis, I'm not really into fashion. Like I don't keep up with like the fashion trends and like the people in the industry and stuff like that. I just think it's cool. I like to admire it. I like to, be part of it from afar. Like I don't know, I will never wear like designer clothes. Like I don't know, I don't like that culture at all. I like streetwear, street fashion, and that's it. Because the thing is, I try getting into it. I will watch YouTubers. I will talk to people about it, but it's so fucking boring. Like I don't know. Like I don't really care about like people's names, people like what brand they're wearing. Like I don't find it interesting at all. So yeah, I'm not really into fashion. I don't know if something looks good, I will wear it. Even if I think it looks good, or if other people tell me that it will look good on me. Because for me, I'm really self-conscious about wearing something that I think looks good, and then someone telling me that it doesn't. So I don't know. I don't really trust I don't feel like I'm someone that's fashionable. I don't really trust my own, I wouldn't say opinions, but my own sense of fashion. So I rather have people tell me like, "Hey, this looks good on you." I usually ask my friends or my partner like, "Hey, does this color look good on me?" Or like this accessory, this necklace, whatever. Because I don't know, I just hate embarrassing myself. So I want someone to tell me like, "Hey, this looks good on you," as a fact. But obviously, I will only ask people who I find fashionable, and like people who I think dress nice and have a good opinion on it. So if you're my friend and you're listening to this, like, I'm sorry to tell you, but you don't dress good. But anyways, going back to my fashion journey or whatever. During my last year of college, the final writing class that I had, it was supposed to be a 20-page paper, right, about any topic that you wanted to write about, and it had to be about cultural appropriation, right? And I wrote about fashion, so it was supposed to be 20 pages, right? So I had to do a lot of research about it, and I found out how damaging the fashion industry was, like the chemical waste and like the conditions and stuff like that. So when I finished doing the paper, I just told myself that I will never buy clothes from a big company, Because it is really shitty, and I don't know, I wouldn't do it unless I knew that they were taking like they were doing it the right way, basically. So all of my clothes now, I get them from thrift stores. Like this sweater, like I got it from there. um and the thing is, it has a lot of options. There's a lot of brands in there, and it's not pricey, obviously. So for me, it is. I don't know. I think it's perfect. Like having to pay $5 for jeans. Like for me, that's such a good deal. I told a couple of friends, and I think there was only one person that told me that they will never do that. They don't think it's costing, but they just don't want to wear secondhand, clothes. For me, I don't mind it. I done it, as I said before. Like I wore other people's clothes throughout my life, and I remember that when I first started doing it, I was really self-conscious about people looking at me walking to a Goodwill or a thrift store or whatever. Because I don't know, I felt like it was something that poor people did, right? But then I reminded myself that I am poor people, I am someone that's broke too. And then I started working on the prejudice I had, or the classism. Because I really wanted to distance myself from it, feel from people perceiving me as a poor person. And then I started thinking, like, why do I feel that way, or why do I have the need to show that I'm not poor? Because I feel like the problem for me is that I get really into my head. I feel like I want to avoid confrontation, or like people. I mean, I don't want to say bullying me, but like talking shit to me. Even though it never happens, like I was self-conscious about someone coming in, or one of my friends looking at me and calling me poor, or calling me, or making fun of me for going into a Goodwill. But like that never happened. Like I will never be friends with someone like that anyway. So like I don't know. I overthink everything. So I tell myself to like not do stuff, so that I will avoid awkward situation or making a fool of myself. But anyways, I don't feel like I'm really explaining myself, so I'm gonna move on. Um, so once I stopped being self-conscious about it, that's when I finally started focusing 100% on the clothes I wanted, right? Because everything I told you back then, it was clothes that other people picked basically, and then I started wearing, right? Like my mom, my exes, my friends, it was clothes that they got, and then I was like, hey, I'm gonna wear this. So when I started thrifting, that's when I finally had my own wardrobe with stuff that I actually picked. um so that's why I really love it. I really love the options. I really love the prices. Obviously, it's like, I don't know, $2 for a shirt. Like bitch, like, and I look good. It looks fashionable. For me, I don't see myself ever stop or doing anything else besides thrifting, because I don't know. Whenever I see a rich person wearing something nice, like something expensive, and they talk about how good they look, like it's. I mean, like, obviously you gotta look good. Obviously, you spend thousands of dollars in one outfit, so it's obvious that you're gonna look good. So I don't think that buying a bunch of expensive clothes is fashion, because like you're obviously gonna look good with pants that cost $200 or $300. For me, if you're able to spend less than, I don't know, 20 and still look good in your whole outfit, for me that's like, you actually know how to dress yourself, because I don't know, some of my friends also like thrift, and that's it. And they wear clothes that's so cheap, but they look like a model, like, for me, that is having a fashion sense. That is actually knowing how to dress, instead of buying something that's expensive and it's obviously supposed to look good. So I don't know, I only like to talk about fashion when it comes to how little you're paying and still look good, like how cheap you're able to find clothes and still look like, like you should be in a magazine or something. For me, like, that's way better than someone that's paying a lot of money for it. So I never see myself like buying designer clothes or anything like that. Like, I don't know, if I need to pay a lot of money to look good, then I just don't look good to start with. But anyways, I think that's it for this podcast. I know it was a little different. It might be not something that a lot of people like, but I don't know, I find it interesting. Because everyone has like their own opinions on it. So yeah, let me know the tips. And like I said before, I enjoy when people tell me like that something looks good on me or something doesn't. So yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you liked it, and that's it. Thank you. Mwah.